Hey. My goodness, we are late. Very late. We were like 13. My goodness. We are 13 minutes late. Oh, goodness gracious me. Well, hope y'all are doing good in chat. Oh my god. Literally have to. I gotta take some water. Give me a second. My goodness. Jesus. Literally getting choked. Pause. I was quite literally getting choked. Oh my goodness. All right. We're here. We're live. We're live. We're active. We're looking to get. I've got a new fit. I've got a new fit on. We'll be showing that on cam. I've got a new fit on. Um, Give me a second. Give me a second. We'll be showing the new fit on cam because I think this is a banging fit. I think this is a banging fit. I just realized when I'm live, they don't really show that I'm live, do they? Give me a second. Give me a second. Okay. All right. We're good. I feel like the outline on this fit, on this character today, has a lot more white on it. Which is not as clean as the other ones. The other ones are not as white. Yeah. We might stick to our usual fit. I like this. I wanted to show this off, but maybe we might have to show it off later. I'll stick with this. If it's too disorienting for me, I will switch it because I don't want to be dealing with a. Oh, give me a second here. My timer. Oh my god, almost screwed my timer up here. Okay, it's on, it's on. All right. Waiting, the referee is about to start the game. What are your predictions? What are your predictions in chat? Who do you guys think are going to win? Both teams coming off very bad matches. Their last matches in the Serie A were very bad, both teams. So both teams need a win. If I'm being real here, I would say both teams need a win. Sorry for the transitions. I'm just trying to position my character's head on here real quick. But yeah, I feel like the white outline is too. It's too. Yeah, it's too loud for me. I might just have to change it. Unfortunately, we might not show the fit, but I might just show the fit regardless of it being a Napoli match. I'll show it in another stream probably. I think we're just gonna stick with this. Yeah. My apologies. I don't like the white outline. I didn't notice it till now. The white outline of the character's design. Give me a second here. I'm gonna have to leave you guys for a little bit, just like a few seconds. No, we're back now. We're back. Oh my goodness. All right, all right. Catch my breath. What did I miss? Absolutely nothing. Nothing major really missed. So I gotta apologize. My bad. My bad for the silence and everything. Literally had to go check something up before before things got serious. Yeah, we have to be sure things don't get serious. Personal stuff. My bad. My bad. My bad. But we're here. Hopefully, we're here for a longer time. Hopefully, I don't have to go and check anything again. But we're here now. Um, so far so good. Nothing really missed. First game in charge for the Atalanta manager. I don't even know what his name is. We'll check that for sure. Let me just get my stats up real quick. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Yeah, we've got our stats up. Lovely stuff. That's all you want to see. So, this match, as I was saying earlier, I think this is a must win game for both Atalanta and Napoli because their form in the league has not been the best. It really has not been the best because there are games where they should have been winning that they ended up dropping points in. A la the Bologna versus Napoli game, which we watched, the Sassuolo versus Atalanta game we didn't watch, but it all happened on the same day actually. Bologna versus Napoli and Atalanta versus Sassuolo. So both teams coming into this game need to get 3 points, but obviously that cannot be the case. Both teams cannot get 3 points, so the next best thing is they get a draw, but a draw doesn't help any of them. It puts them in the same situation they were coming into this game. So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot going on for them. Napoli fourth in the league, 23 points. If they draw this game, if Inter win against Milan tomorrow, which we're gonna be live for, if you want to make sure you don't miss a watch along for that, make sure to hit that like button, that subscribe button, not that like button, but I mean hit the like button as well. But yeah, subscribe button, turn on post notifications so that you do not miss out future streams. We've got a lot more content coming on. I'm literally watching the match and designing the thumbnail for the Newcastle versus Manchester City game. We're multitasking here. Hopefully, I don't miss anything as I'm designing this. Okay. Interesting. I think that was a big win for Newcastle as well. Okay. The Newcastle Manchester City match reaction should be coming on very soon as well. It should be. Napoli have had majority of the possession so far in the game. Who do I have my eye on? McTominay, to be honest. McTominay, obviously, his performances in the international break would not have gone unnoticed by anyone. So he's definitely a player to keep an eye out on. Excuse me again, I'm going to have to be away for a little bit. Give me a few seconds. My apologies. We're back again. Hopefully, this is gonna be the last one. I literally have something on that I have to check constantly, but I think this is gonna be the last one. Hopefully, but fortunately for us, we haven't missed anything. We've missed the first 10 minutes of the game, basically, but I think apart from that, we haven't missed anything major. It's a corner for Atalanta, though. They could whip something in here. I didn't answer the question from FGH. The players I'm I've got my eye on Ademola Lookman and Scott McTominay. Definitely, those two are players I've you know got my eye on. But the team I want to see a better performance from is Napoli. I think that Bologna match was a match where you look at and I say it was a lot of missed opportunities for Napoli. So I do want to see a better performance from them in this match against Atalanta. I think it's a game they can get something from for sure. If they lock in, they can get something. But equally, Atalanta can get something from this game. I think it was the match against AC Milan. Good AC Milan. AC Milan versus Atalanta, where I think Ademola Lookman scored that goal. So it's a 50-50 game. Both teams could get something. I wouldn't want to draw. I definitely wouldn't want to draw in this game. I want to see some goals and some good goals as well. I want to see some good goals. So for sure, I think I do think there are goals in this game, especially seeing their last performances. I think they would want to come into this game getting something. I don't think both teams would come into this game wanting to get a draw or coming in to park the bus or something along those lines. I think they'll be coming into this game wanting to get a win and wanting to score some goals because you know they've dropped points against teams you'd normally expect them to get points against, being Bologna and Sassuolo. But then again, Bologna won their game today, so I might, it might just be me being um ill-informed about the quality that Italian teams have. Maybe they've actually got some good quality. The ball has just been passed around in Napoli's half of the field. Sorry, in Atalanta's half of the field, but by Napoli. So not too much going on. Again, I'm literally designing the thumbnail for the uh Newcastle versus Manchester City game match reaction that I have. Oh, tackle from the Atalanta defender on Rasmus Højlund, number 4 for Atalanta. Hein, I think. Ooh, that was I'd say that's a yellow card, to be honest. It kind of had his hand around his neck. Hein. It is a free kick, but the referee is keeping his cards to himself here. It's not really trigger happy, the referee. Which is good, first 13 minutes, you don't really want to be seeing a yellow card, but I think probably should have been a yellow. Probably should have been a yellow. Uh, Free kick for Napoli, ball into the box. It's a good clearance for Atalanta. Can't really do much. Get your questions in the chat as well. Let me know what you guys are thinking about the game. What happened in the Premier League. I mean, nothing serious happened in the Premier League, but let me know what you guys think about the results in the Premier League, especially the Liverpool result. If you're a Liverpool fan, let me know what you're thinking as well. And if you're a fan of any of these two teams we're watching at the moment, I wouldn't mind hearing your thoughts on who you think is going to win, who you want to win, stuff like that. You guys, at the end of the day, do make the conversations on these streams very interesting. And I do appreciate that. I really, really do. Napoli on the left-hand side, crossing to the box. There's really no one there. There's really no one there to cause Atalanta any major issues as they try to hit on the counter here, but they're not going forward enough to do that. And it's back to Napoli. You've got a lot of the game here in Napoli. Again, I'm hoping this is not a 0-0 game. Because I know for a fact tomorrow's game is not going to be 0-0. But what a flick on from Højlund to David Neres. This should be a goal. David Neres, lovely finish. Lovely finish from David Neres to get the goal. The flick on from Rasmus Højlund sets up David Neres beautifully. It looked like he was going to stumble a little bit when it came to the final third, because his run looked like the defender had the better of him, but he stabilizes himself one-on-one against the goalkeeper, and it's a simple bottom corner finish. But that flick on from Rasmus Højlund is what made this goal. Look at this ball from Di Lorenzo. Lovely flick from Rasmus Højlund. Perfectly weighted pass from Rasmus Højlund there. And I think, yeah, it really made everything simple for David Neres. It was a good run from David Neres as well to hold on to the ball, get into the box, head down, and to finish that as well. Calm and composed. But again, the flick from Rasmus Højlund is what sets the goal up. And it's a 1-goal lead. As I said, I want to see more goals. I want to see goals in this game. I want Atalanta to get an equalizer, and then we build from that, make things more interesting. I want to see some more. Definitely want to see some more. It's still very early stages for the Atalanta goal. For the Napoli goal, I mean, not the Atalanta goal. Atalanta on the attack here. Pasalic, I believe, on the left-hand side. It's not Pasalic. Is it Pasalic? Oh, Zappacosta. Okay. 77 is Zappacosta. Ederson is another player I think, I don't know. There was a lot of hype around him, especially after that Europa final for Atalanta. It's a handball for Napoli. That looked like a handball on the Napoli player, but I think the referee plays the advantage, and Atalanta are still on the ball here. Ball into the box, but it's a bit too much. It's a bit too much. That flick on again from Rasmus Højlund. They're showing it here. I mean, perfectly weighted pass from Rasmus Højlund. First time flick on from Rasmus Højlund. Plays the ball right onto the path of David Neres. And, to take no credit away from David Neres, that was a good finish. The run was good, and the finish was brilliant. It was. Foul here on David Neres on the by David Neres on Zappacosta, I think. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy the content and you want to see more content like this, we do match reactions, football analysis. We have a series on the channel, Ones to Watch. We're on episode 7. We're now starting to do a Girona FC 26 career mode. We do live stream watch along. There's a lot of content on the channel for you to consume. And I believe it's some high quality content. So if you enjoy it and it's your cup of tea, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and turn on post notifications if you're already subscribed so that you do not miss out on future videos. Because I can guarantee you we've got some more content coming up. We've got some more content coming up. I'm planning on some, IRL stuff, some, questions and answers, will involve the community as well. Some hot takes from you guys. Like we've got a whole lot. We've got a whole lot coming on. So I appreciate all the support on the channel. We're on 162 subscribers. We're looking to get bigger. We want to get bigger, expand the community, reach more people, hear more stories. Like we've got a whole lot more. A whole lot more. The match reaction for the Newcastle Manchester City game is live as well. So yeah, you can check that out too. Okay. Lovely ball over the top for Atalanta. Milinkovic Savic is out, and it's a good clearance by the goalkeeper. I thought that was going to be a chance for Atalanta to get an equalizer very early on. Very early on. We have 25 minutes to go in this first half. Atalanta haven't really created any dangerous opportunities where we can look at and say they deserve to have scored or they deserve to have been in front. Passing them all around at the back, Atalanta. Some interesting matches today. Bayern 6-2 against Freiburg. Elise with a hat trick of assist and 2 goals. Very underrated player, Michael Elise. Very, very underrated player, Michael Elise. I'm so excited about the football we have coming up this week. Today the Liverpool Nottingham Forest game, Newcastle Manchester City was good. Um, Tomorrow Arsenal Tottenham I think is gonna be good. The Milan derby is gonna be very good. Monday, nothing really going on Monday, but Tuesday Champions League, Chelsea versus Barcelona. Wednesday, the long-awaited match, and the match I think is going to decide the Champions League winner, Bayern Munich versus Arsenal. So some pretty interesting matches, if I do say so myself. Some pretty interesting matches. Sorry about the silence. I'm literally just trying to figure something out here on on the stream, but I think it's good. Atalanta with a long throw here. First long throw I've actually seen in the Serie A. I haven't seen a lot of long throws in the Serie A. It's mostly Prem, but here we are. Ederson, good feet on the ball. Wasn't able to really do anything. Atalanta still trying to find that opening in the Napoli defense. Nothing going on so far. How is FC26 going? It's okay. It's I. Nothing crazy. Nothing that I can look at and say, flick on from Hoyland again to David Neres. Can you find Hoyland this time around? Oh, the pass was there for David Neres to find Hoyland. I don't think he saw Rasmus Hoyland. I think that's the play. Hoyland gets the ball and then flicks it on to David Neres. Because it seems to be what Napoli are focusing on. But yeah, as I was saying, FC26 is it's okay. It's nothing crazy, it's nothing groundbreaking. There are some issues, but I haven't played it long enough to really notice what the issues are. I would say defending this season is a lot more manual than previous years. Like very, very manual. You have to really time your jockeying and your defender's position, your player's position. You have to time that very, very well. There's not a lot of automatic tackling this season as well. So yeah, I guess that makes it more difficult, but yeah, again, I haven't played it long enough to really judge whether it's more difficult or more easier than last season. For sure, I think it's okay. Strikers are very, they bully defenders a lot. If a striker is strong, he's going to be putting some defenders down. Foul here on for by David Neres. Kind of puts his hand in the player's face here. But yeah, I think FC26 is it's okay. It's okay. After like a month, December by this time, ask me this question again, and then I'll give you a proper answer. Because if I've played a game a month by this time, I would have because I'm playing Ultimate Team as well, which I don't normally play. I don't normally play a lot of Ultimate Team, but I am playing that now. So yeah, I think I'll figure it out. I'll figure my take on the game. Get your questions in the chat as well. Let me know what you're thinking about the match, about football matches that have gone on today in general. Napoli on the attack here. Scott McTominay. It's an ambitious shot from the Scotsman. He can score those. He can score those. He scored those, McTominay. Brilliant international break, Scott McTominay. Scored a lovely bicycle kick. A lovely bicycle. I think that's going to be a corner actually. Scored a lovely bicycle kick for Scotland. I think McTominay is a case study of you need to know where you're appreciated. You need to know where your skills are appreciated, and when you're in a position where your skills are not appreciated, you need to pack your bags and get the hell out of there. Same thing with Anthony, McTominay, Anthony, they've left Manchester United and they've been basically being treated as some of the best players in the world. I don't think McTominay is one of the best players in the world. I think he's a good player. He's a very good player, but I don't think he's one of the best players in the world. But in Naples, he's treated as one of the best players in the world. Same with Anthony. I don't think Anthony can, work in any team. He's doing a brilliant job for Betis, no doubt about that. But I don't think Anthony can go to a Real Madrid or a Barcelona or a Manchester City or an Arsenal, as we saw in the Premier League. It was atrocious. So I think he has his limits, but when you're in a position or when you find yourself in a surrounding where people appreciate what you do, you tend to want to put in more effort for them as compared to being in a surrounding where Atalanta, they're passing the ball at the back here very dangerously. Probably should be getting rid of the ball, but lovely clear outs from Karnasechi's. Lookman on the left-hand side. We know what Lookman can do when he is on that left-hand side. He tries to find a pass, and it's an unfortunate deflection from a player who was making a run into the box for Atalanta. But they are here again, looking to create something. But it's a bit of a calm. So yeah, as I was saying, with Anthony and McTominay, they haven't done anything special. They've been playing the same way they've played in their former clubs, being Manchester United. But it's just that they're now more appreciated where they are now. So it makes them put in that extra effort. And yeah, we're seeing them benefit from it. Really is. And then it's good. It's good for them, Because if you're in an environment where people are not appreciating, lovely turn from the Kettler, but the shot at the end of the day was very, very, very wayward. FGH with another good question. Are elite clubs too quick to sack managers now? I think elite clubs are too tame in sacking managers. I think Arne Slot should have been gone. I think Amorim probably should have been gone by now, but you probably say, given the time, Amorim is doing well. I think that's the issue with a lovely opportunity for Atalanta here. Can he turn? He can't turn. He finds a pass. He was in the 18-yard box there. Atalanta, they're knocking on the door here. It feels like Napoli have scored their goal and put a lot of players behind the ball here. Cross into the box. Right across the face of goal. But yeah, I think the thing with elite clubs is what makes them elite clubs is having that patience that a team in the in a relegation battle wouldn't have, or a team fighting for mid-table wouldn't have. If you're a Real Madrid, if you're a Barcelona, if you're a Manchester City, Manchester United, Liverpool, maybe not Chelsea, but yeah, if you're these teams, you don't really sack your manager, especially when your manager has done well in the previous season. I think, beautiful ball to Rasmus Højlund. He's a strong lad, but the Atalanta defender has gotten the better of him. But yeah, I think these elite teams, especially Liverpool, I'm sure you're asking this question because of the Arne Slot's Liverpool thing. I think with Liverpool, they can't really just sack Arne Slot like that, because what he did last season was impressive. To come into a team, although I don't really give him as much credit as he probably should, what Arne Slot did in that Liverpool team last season was impressive, because to come in, take hold of a team you didn't build at all, didn't get any signings, coming into the Premier League, one of the toughest leagues in the world, and to perform the way he did with Liverpool, I think it's very impressive. I really do. So yeah, for sure. It's one of those where I don't think Liverpool can just, up and sack Arne Slot like that. I really don't think so. It's a great point, but it's gonna be difficult to see where they go on and just sack Arne Slot. Atalanta, lovely ball to Lookman. Oh, beautiful feet from Lookman. Charles Di Ketelaere, no, it's Pasalic, and it's wayward. Probably should have been on target, Mario Pasalic. I thought that was Di Ketelaere. Ademola Lookman does very well here to get past like two players. And he got the pass off as well. I thought it was a deflection. He got the pass off, Lookman. Pasalic should be doing better there. Should be doing a lot better. I think there's an Atalanta goal coming in. I think so. I think there's an Atalanta goal coming in. Zappacosta tries to put a ball into the box. That was a weak cross from Zappacosta. Keep the questions coming in. Appreciate the conversation. Take a bite. Gotta take some water as well. Got some very dry throat here. Pause, under dry throat. Ederson has to look for that pass, but it's not there. I don't know why Napoli have gotten the goal and decided to just defend. I don't know why that's the case. Which club feels closest to building a dynasty under your current coach? Dynasty is a strong word. At the moment, I would like to say Real Madrid, but I'm not seeing an identity enough to say we're close to building a dynasty if we start winning games. I need to see an identity first. So the closest at the moment is probably Bayern. Bayern and Arsenal. I think Arsenal probably. I think Arsenal are closer to building a dynasty as compared to Bayern. I think they have a lot more squad depth, more players where you can look at and say in the next 10 years, 10 years is a lot. 10 years is crazy. In the next 5 years, you look at some of the players in Arsenal's team, and if they can win some trophies, get some personal accomplishments, you can look at them and say they're some of the best players in the world, if not already. You look at Gabriel, Saka, David Neres. Oh my goodness. First time finish from David Neres. Low bottom corner. Again, it's 2-0. It's not. I just realized the scoreline has said Atalanta 1-0 all this time. Atalanta have not scored a goal. My bad. Atalanta have not scored a goal. And I don't think they could score a goal to save their life at the moment. It's 2-0 Napoli. And it's David Neres with a brace. I don't know what was going on at the back for Atalanta. Passing the ball all around at the back. I said this. Carnesecchi with a clearance. And it's a header back from Elmas. And it's a flick on from McTominay, I believe. Was it McTominay or it was Rasmus? I think it was McTominay. And David Neres. It was Rasmus again. Rasmus with 2 assists now. It wasn't Rasmus, I think. I think it was McTominay. Was it McTominay? It doesn't matter. It's 2-0 Napoli. And yeah, it's McTominay with the assist. It's 2-0 Napoli, and Atalanta will rule those missed chances. And they're still passing the ball out from the back. What is happening here? You've done that 2 times, and they've lost possession again. Atalanta are passing the ball from the back. Literally, a few seconds ago, conceded a goal from passing the ball out from the back. Get the ball and pass the ball out from the back and lose possession. Again. It's a bad start to the Atalanta manager's career. So yeah, FGH. To answer your question, I think Arsenal at the moment feel like the closest club to building a dynasty under their current coach. Because I'm looking at that Arsenal team, and if they can win a Premier League and maybe a Champions League in the next 2 years, I think you look at some of those players, and yeah, you've got a conversation for, and there's longevity in that Arsenal team. You know, as I said, if they can win some trophies, there's no reason for them to go to a Real Madrid or a Barcelona. You know, because they can stay in Arsenal and become Arsenal legends. So definitely, I think yeah, Arsenal at the moment have the closest to building a dynasty, and Arteta is a young coach. Yeah, I think Arsenal. I think Arsenal. I don't know how big of a dynasty, but I think Arsenal at the moment have that dynasty ability, and maybe it might be as big as Manchester City's dynasty. You know, yeah. Appreciate all the conversation. Keep the questions coming. Lookman, left hand side, holds onto the ball. Can you find someone? It's offside. It's offside. It's offside. Keep the questions coming. I appreciate all the conversation. FGH is a regular question asker and a chatter in the live chat in every watch along, and I appreciate all his questions. He's always got some good questions on, and it always make the conversations on the live chat very interesting. So keep it coming, keep it coming. Napoli now passing off on the back as well, but they don't spend too much time doing that. Flick on from Rasmus Højlund. He's doing that very well today, Rasmus Højlund, flicking the ball on accurately as well. You know, FGH with another good question. Which signing has exceeded expectations? Oh, that's a tough one. I'm just gonna take that as a general question because I don't want to focus too much on Real Madrid. I don't think any Real Madrid signing has exceeded expectations. I wanted to say Alvaro Carreras, but I don't think so. Signing has exceeded expectations. I almost said Brian Mbeumo at Manchester United, but I think Brian Mbeumo is doing exactly what Manchester United fans expected Brian Mbeumo to do. I don't think Manchester United fans expected to buy Brian Mbeumo and were going to be surprised if he started scoring goals. So I think, yeah. But off the top of my head, probably Malik Thiaw at Newcastle. Because I don't even think he was starting when he came in, Malik Thiaw. So I think out of the players that I have seen and I have watched play, Malik Thiaw at Newcastle is definitely exceeding expectations. SZH, hope you're doing good in chat. Welcome to the stream. But yeah, I think Malik Thiaw for me. Who else? Liverpool signings have been trash. Arsenal signings, I don't think Eze has done anything extraordinary. I think Arsenal fans would have expected Eberechi Eze to perform. I don't think it was anything special. Donnarumma at Manchester City is doing what he's expected to do. So I don't really think any signing has been exceeded expectations. Lovely flick from David Neres this time around to Rasmus Højlund. Politano, ball into the box. This could be 3. It is 3. Noah Lang. It's getting worse for Atalanta here. It's 3-0 for Napoli. And it seems like every time they attack, they're going to put the ball in the back of the net. The flick-ons I have seen in this game, the flick-ons have been as you know, I've seen as much flick-ons in this game as Odegaard flicking his hair in an Arsenal shirt. That's a dig at Arsenal, no shade at Odegaard. Flick on from David Neres this time to Rasmus Højlund. He finds Di Lorenzo on the right hand side, and it's a beauty of a cross into the box from Di Lorenzo to find Noah Lang, and all he had to do was get his head onto the ball, and it's 2-0 for Napoli, and I don't think so. It's 3-0 for Napoli, not 2-0. It's 3-0 for Napoli, and I don't think Atalanta have any solutions to these problems that Napoli are throwing them into. They've gone forward but haven't looked dangerous at all. I don't think Milinkovic-Savic has had to make a save, and I think the stats at the moment are backing what I'm saying. The stats are backing me up here. 54% possession to Atalanta. They've not done anything with that possession, Napoli with a 0.91 xG, 5 shots, 3 on target, 2 big chances. It's domination from Atalanta in the first half here, and with that domination, they go into the second half with a 3-0 lead. Atalanta are going to have to cook up something devious in the second half to even get an equalizer. They're going to have to cook up something spectacular to get an equalizer, much less win this game. I don't think Atalanta are going to get a win in this game, but hey, football is a funny game. It is a funny game. Let's stop the timer. I think the timer is already stopped. 3-0. The stats, as I said, have not been in Atalanta's favor apart from possession. Apart from possession. But yeah, I think I don't have much to say about Atalanta. I think their best player has been Ademola Lookman. He has created chances for De Ketelaere, Pasalic, and they have not taken these chances at all. So I don't know. I don't know what Atalanta are going to have to cook up in the second half to get something from this, but they have to cook something. They have to change something. I don't know who to change. I don't know what to change, because it's not looking like they're going to get something from this game, if I'm being very honest with you. FGH with another question. Is the Premier League still the strongest league in Europe? I think so. In terms of quality, the Premier League still massively trump what other leagues can produce in terms of just pure quality. I really do think so, because I look at the Bundesliga, and I mean like spread out quality, not just quality for quality's sake. I mean spread out quality, because you look at teams like look at today, Nottingham Forest versus Liverpool, and it wasn't a scrappy win as well for Nottingham Forest. It was a very big win for Nottingham Forest against Liverpool. So I think it's very difficult to go to another league and see a result like this. You do get those types of results once in a while in other leagues, but it's very difficult to go to another league and see a result like we saw today. Even Newcastle, Manchester City, Newcastle are a decent side, but I don't think Newcastle are good enough where you can say they're expected to beat Manchester City. They don't have the quality that Manchester City have. So you look at that and think, in terms of overall quality, I think the Premier League does have that. And if they do have that overall quality that is spread out across the league, it does make them the strongest league in the world. I mean, look at the Champions League. They've got 5 teams in the Champions League. So yeah, definitely. Keep the questions coming in. Appreciate all the conversations. If you're new to the channel, you're watching and you enjoy this content, if this content is your cup of tea, live watch alongs, ones to watch, where we have a look at upcoming players, young, players entering their prime, players that are underrated. We look at them and predict if they do have that ability to make it to the next level. That's what I call ones to watch on the channel. You can check that out on the channel. Match reactions, FIFA career modes. We have a whole lot more other stuff that is coming up. Football analysis. There's so much exciting stuff. If this is your cup of tea and you enjoy what you're listening to and what you're watching, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Like the video if you enjoy. Like the live stream. Turn on post notifications so that you do not miss out on more content. Tomorrow is going to be the Milan derby. A big one. We missed the Juventus versus was it Juventus versus, no, it wasn't Juventus versus AC Milan. It was AC Milan. No, it was, I'm forgetting the teams here. It was Juventus versus Inter Milan. It was a banger of a game, and we missed that. But we're not going to miss the AC Milan versus Inter Milan game, the Milan derby. It's gonna be a good one. We've got 3 goals in the first half here in the Napoli Atalanta game. I'm saying we get 5 goals in the first half in that Milan derby. I say 3-2 to someone. I don't know who's going to score 3-2, but I say we get 5 goals in the first half of that Milan derby. So if you want to tune in for that, we're going to be live streaming that. We're going to be live for that. For sure. For sure. Question from FGH I haven't answered. Is stability more valuable than star power? I think you've asked this question before, but I'm going to answer it regardless. I think so. Stability is very important in a team. Balance is very important in a team. You can't build a team on individuals. We've seen that multiple of times. Liverpool this season, trash, because they have a lot of individual players and they haven't had that balance. Real Madrid last season, trash. A lot of star power, but not balance. Even this season, the balance isn't there. Galacticos, the former Real Madrid, the balance isn't there. So definitely, for sure, I think balance is very, very important in building a team. Look at PSG winning the Champions League. Balance. It's very important. Having star players definitely is also key because you need quality. You can't just have quantity and balance without having quality. You need quality as well, but you need balance. You need balanced quality. So yeah, balance is very, very important. Very, 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 very important. Okay. Tomorrow is Real Madrid. Barcelona won today at home. That's expected. I mean, I would have been surprised if they lost at home, especially at home today because it was the unveiling of the Camp Nou. So yeah, I'm not too surprised that Barcelona won today. Not the happiest that they've won, but hey, can't really complain. 4-0 as well. Okay, tomorrow Real Madrid versus Elche. It's gonna be an interesting one. Like to see how I would like to watch that game actually, but I'll be streaming the Inter Milan AC Milan match for sure. I think that'd be more interesting than the Real Madrid Elche game. Gotta be real with you. The only reason I want to watch Real Madrid now is just to really figure out what Alonso wants to do in terms of picking players and all of that. I'm not too many, yeah. Give me a second. Give me a second. I have to go check something real quick. We are back. Sorry about that. Oh my god. All right, we're back. Yes, what were we talking about before I left? What were we talking about before I left? Predictions for the Milan derby. Jesus Christ. Don't do this to me. This is a tough game. This is a tough game to predict. I can't give you predictions for the Milan derby. That's not fair on me. Bloody hell. Um predictions for the Milan derby. I've watched both teams this season a lot, a couple. I think Inter. I really don't think AC Milan have what it takes to give Inter a run for their money this season. For sure, I really don't. But the problem is, it's a derby. It's a derby. You never know what's gonna happen in a derby. It's gonna be a tough one, and I don't think I can really predict. But if I have to go based on form, which is never, it's never a good factor to go off of when predicting a derby, I would predict Inter because I think Inter have played a better football. They've looked a better team so far, and I think there is less questions to ask about Inter as compared to AC Milan. That's for sure. So yeah, it's a tough one. So it's definitely a tough one. Uh, okay. It always takes a while for the always takes a while for live streams to go live. I just realized that. I should probably upload this, to be very honest with you. I should probably delete this as a live and upload this. I just realized this is showing on screen. My bad. My bad. I didn't mean for that to show on screen. My baddie bad. Yeah, so I should probably just delete the live stream and just upload it separately. Because the live streams are always separate. Like if I'm doing it separate on the live stream, I think I'll just I'm talking about the what's it called? The match reaction for Newcastle Manchester City. I think I might just delete it and upload it as an actual video. I think that might be better. But yeah, keep your questions coming in. I think FGH has got a good question in. Who will be the next 100 million signing? That's odd. FGH is always asking some really hard hitting questions. He asks some hard hitting questions, FGH. I'll be real and 100 with you. You be asking some hard hitting questions. I don't know how I'm gonna answer that. I don't know who's gonna be the next 100 million signed. If I had to guess, I mean, who's playing well so far this season, and who is due, a lot of questions. Who is due a move? Who's playing very well this season? Playing well enough to get a 100 million move. Um, that's a tough one, FGH. I'm not gonna lie to you. Not going to lie to you. That is a tough question to be asking moi. and I would be lying to you if I said I had an answer to that question. The next 100 million signing, it's gonna have to be a player that's gonna move to Real Madrid or Barcelona or Chelsea very soon. And I don't see Chelsea spending 100 million anytime soon. So it's a tough question to ask. But the players are out for the second half here. We'll circle back to that question, FGH. Change for Atalanta. Kasunu is in here. I don't know if a defensive sub is the way to go. Kasunu, and who is this? It's got a lot of tattoos on his back. Jesus. Skamaka. Oh yeah, it is Skamaka. Pasalic and Ahano are off for Kasunu and Skamaka for Atalanta. So these are two changes that I think Atalanta do need. In terms of striking options, I don't think Atalanta have been as clinical as they would have liked to be. They would have liked to be more clinical than they have been in this game. But the second half is about to begin, and we are off. We are off. 3-0 lead. Napoli coming into this second half. Do they sit back and defend, or do they go for it and make it 4? I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. We're going to have to wait and see. No substitutions for Napoli though. This is could have been 4. McTominay with a lovely finish. That could have been 4. Neres. A ball bouncing around in the 18-yard box. Atalanta players claiming it was a handball, but I don't think that was a handball. Cross comes in, corner, ball bouncing around in the box. Is this going to be 4? It's not going to be 4. It's a clearance from Atalanta. Not a good clearance. Noah Lang tries to take the ball. He's down. It's a free kick. Oh, it's a free kick to Atalanta. I don't know about that. Sorry, it's a free kick to Napoli, not Atalanta. It's a free kick to Napoli, and I don't know. That did not look like a free kick to me. It did not look like a free kick to me, but McTominay. Gonna be taking this free kick. Can McTominay score a free kick in a week where he scored a stupendous bicycle kick? Can he add a free kick goal to his catalog? Let's see. Scott McTominay, edge of the 18-yard box. This is scoreable. Is he going for it straight at the goalkeeper? Forced the save. He hit that with power. Scott McTominay. But it was straight at the goalkeeper. Yeah, straight at the goalkeeper. Straight at the goalkeeper. I don't know. I don't know what that was. Probably should have gone bottom right or bottom left. But he went straight at the goalkeeper. Another foul for Napoli. Atalanta need to sort themselves out here in terms of the fouls. They're giving away too many cheap fouls here. All right, so I think I'm going to have to delete the match reaction for the Newcastle Manchester City because I don't like the fact that it's a live stream. I want it to be a normal video. McTominay Noah Lang to his left. Noah Lang, can he do something on his left hand side? Ooh, lovely flick back from Elmas, I think it was. And the pressure from Napoli is telling. Atalanta are not able to play out from the back like they normally would. It's out. Good. Get this in. Still waiting to see if Atalanta can cook something here. I don't think they're going to be able to. It's looking grim for them. It really is. Another question coming in from FGH. Let's see what it's all about. Is modern football losing its identity or evolving? That's a hard-hitting question. I think I think modern football is evolving in a regressive way. And what I mean by that is we've gone back to the basics. You know, long ball, long throw-ins, but it's not in the way they were doing it in the past. In the past, you'd see stuff like that, but you'd also see bangers. You see players going on solo runs. You see players trying to be more ambitious in terms of, you know, wanting to score a goal. You'd see players doing a lot more that made the game more exciting. But now it feels like players are more focused on, not players, teams are more focused on playing the percentage ball. And the percentage ball is the long throw-ins. The percentage ball is the set pieces. It's the long ball. It's the counter-attack in football. And they're doing it in a boring way. So modern football is evolving, but it's evolving in a regressive way. I think we need to see more PSGs. We need to see more Barcelonas in terms of their approach. Ademola Lookman, this should be one. It's not one. It's not a go back for Atalanta, but it's better. It's better. Ademola Lookman, as I said, has been their best player so far. Over on the left hand side, finds Diketele, and Diketele probably should have looked for Skamaka. He goes for the shot, and it's just wide. It's just wide. Yeah, I think this is the problem with Atalanta. They're not able to really, create those quality chances. But here they are again. Diketele. Over to number 16, Bellanova, I believe. Skamaka, what a hit! Oh, that makes things exciting. That makes things exciting. Gianluca Skamaka, what a volley. Lovely cross into the box from Bellanova. Takes it well, Skamaka. What a hit. Lovely goal. And we've got some interesting stuff going on in this second half. Instant impact. The substitute, Skamaka, he hit that well. He hit that well. Because he could have hit that straight to the goalkeeper. And he managed to hit that bottom corner. He managed to hit that bottom corner. We've got a game on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a game on our hands. 3-1 in the 52nd minutes. There's a lot of time. There's a lot of time for Atalanta to ask some more questions. Definitely. And I think the subs came on very early. I think, the players that went off, especially Pasalic. Pasalic is not a player that you really just sub off like that. He's a good player. So for the manager to have that cojones, basically, to take off Pasalic, lovely flick from Skamaka. He has definitely changed the dynamic of Atalanta's attack here. He's winning a lot of second balls, a lot of 50-50s. It's changed the dynamic here of Atalanta. And this is what I wanted to see. Ball over the top. Ademola Lookman. Oh, good interception from Di Lorenzo. If he didn't get there, I think Ademola Lookman would have made this 2. Would have made this 3-2. I said getting to the end of the second half, Atalanta would need a miracle to get an equalizer. Well, hallelujah. Di Lorenzo, he had to make that interception. It was a clean pass to Ademola Lookman. And if he didn't, ball over the top, I'd say Ademola Lookman scores that. Get your questions coming in. Let's continue the conversation. Lovely cross from Bellanova. I mean, that cross was good, but that volley from Scamacca, oof, clean, very clean connection. And as I said, he did very well to get that at the bottom right corner, because a lot of strikers, maybe inexperienced strikers, hits that straight at the goalkeeper. So he gets extra points for taking that bottom corner. And the cross from Bellanova was clean as well. I think Atalanta need to keep this pressure on. They are applying a lot of pressure in this second half here. They need to keep that pressure on to get something. And I think they can get something if they can keep that pressure on. Kasunu is a player I thought would go to Liverpool, maybe a Manchester City, especially the season he had in Leverkusen. But to go to Atalanta and be sitting on the bench, it's not really what I thought for Kasunu. I really didn't think that. I thought he was going to go to bigger levels, because he's a good center back, Odilon Kasunu. He's a very good center back, so it's kind of a shock to see him in Atalanta. Also on the bench, I don't think he's played a lot of games for Atalanta, but maybe he's been injured as well. Maybe he's been injured. Keep the questions coming in. I've enjoyed the conversation, especially from FGH. He's been putting in some really good questions. It's a foul. It's not a foul. McTominay driving forward for Napoli. They've still got a 2-0 lead, Napoli. No need to panic here. Noah Lang. It's a corner for Napoli. Which falling giant is furthest from returning to the top? Ooh, that's an interesting question. Which falling giant is furthest from returning to the top? I would say it's Manchester United at the moment. I think a team that is falling from grace and it's nowhere near returning to the top. I think Manchester United for sure have to be in that conversation, and I think it will be them, because a team that has won the treble, class of 98, the history and pedigree that Manchester United have, and the aura Manchester United used to have, with the players that they've produced and the players that they had, I think that's the team that you look at and say, yeah, they have definitely fallen from grace, and it's gonna take a miracle, to be honest. It's gonna take a miracle, and it's gonna take a long time for Manchester United to return back to those glory days of winning Premier Leagues, winning Champions Leagues, producing world-class players. McTominay, this could be 4. It's not 4. Defending from Hein. Yeah, I think Manchester United are going to be that team that is furthest from returning to the top. For sure. Because you look at teams like Chelsea, although they're not winning Premier Leagues, they're winning trophies. They're winning major trophies. They're producing players that you can say, are some of the best in the world. I think apart from Bruno Fernandes, there's no player in Manchester United you can look at and say this player gets into some of the best teams in the world. But you look at teams like Chelsea, Arsenal, maybe Arsenal, to be honest, I think Arsenal might be in that conversation. But the reason I don't add them in there is that they are in a title race. They've been in a title race for 3 years consecutively now. So that's big team behavior. United haven't been in a title race in a very long time. So yeah, I think United for sure are a team, a fallen giant that is very far from returning back to the top. But I think it's possible. Patience, quality, intentionality, investment is definitely going to be the keys for Manchester United to return back to the top. Napoli just weighing up Atalanta here. Atalanta have maintained their intensity. For sure. They have maintained that intensity, which is good. Which is good. It is. It is good. Because I want to see more goals. I mean, just imagine. Imagine we get an Atalanta equalizer in this game. It's gonna be difficult, but imagine that's what we get in this game. It would be outstanding. Outstanding if we can get that. I don't think it will happen, but never say never. Do I want it to happen? Probably. Makes the stream more interesting. Napoli winning the ball here. Clearance. Back to Atalanta. Which mid-table team could realistically break into UCL qualification in the Prem? I mean, this season, I don't think any mid-table team is gonna break into the top four, even top five. Lovely turn from Skamaka to find Belanova. Tries to find Ademola Lookman, but the cross is too much. Oh, Zappacosta keeps it in. Is he going to put a cross in? He's not. He tries to go for the shot. Zappacosta, too aggressive. He's going to get a yellow card there. Selfish play from Zappacosta. He loses the ball, tries to win the ball back, and he flew into that tackle on Ramani. And he's going to get a yellow card. And you know, it's kind of understandable why he flew into the tackle. He knows he should have passed that. Zappacosta knows he should have passed that ball. Got 30 minutes to go. Skamaka has definitely changed the dynamic of this Atalanta attack. And Belanova tried to find Ademola Lookman, but I think the pass came in that tad bit too early. I think Zappacosta is going off. Excuse me. Zappacosta is going off for Zalewski. Can Zalewski... Excuse me. That was a big sneeze. Can Zalewski do something for Atalanta in this game? Atalanta just need a second goal. They just need a second goal and they can make this game more interesting because I don't think Napoli I don't think they really want to score that second goal, if I'm being honest. They don't really, you know. Think Napoli are going to make their first sub of the game? They are. Jesus is coming on. The defender. I don't know who for. Number 13, Ramani. First sub of the game for Napoli. They're looking to hold on to this game here because, as I said, Atalanta, they're knocking on the door. And if you allow them to keep knocking, they might end up breaking down the door. And if you're a Napoli, you would definitely not want to throw away a 3-0 lead. You don't want to throw away a 3-0 lead at all. But keep the questions coming in. Again, if you're new to the channel and you enjoy the content, you want to see more content like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Turn on post notifications. We've got a lot of interesting content. Go through the channel. You find something. If you're a football lover, I think you're going to find something that's going to interest you on the channel. For sure. From FC 26 to live watch-alongs to match reactions to football analysis to match previews. The whole lot. Will we ever go back to traditional defensive fullbacks? I don't think so, to be honest. I don't think we're ever going to go back to fullbacks. But to be honest, I don't think we ever had traditional. Ooh. The Ketelaere. Very, very close. Edge of the box. Inside of the foot shot. And that was very close. Inches away to probably making this 3-2 and giving the game more pizzazz, for a lack of better words. Napoli have lost the ball again. Yeah, so as I was saying, I don't think we ever had traditional defensive fullbacks, because you look at the legendary fullbacks of the past, Roberto Carlos. He wasn't a tradition. He wasn't like a fullback that was sitting back and defending. Obviously, he was no Nuno Mendes. He wasn't a Hakimi, but he was going for it. Look at players like Marcelo. He wasn't a fullback that was gonna sit down and sit at the back and defend. Ooh, Scamacca again forces a save from Milinkovic Savic. He has really changed this game up, Scamacca. And I think in the first half, Lookman was man of the match for me, but I think this second half, Scamacca would be taking man of the match if I had to pick. Ball into the box from Atalanta. Shots, very wayward shots. So yeah, I don't think we ever had fully traditional defensive, fullbacks, because Marcelo wasn't defensive. He wasn't fully defensive. Dani Alves wasn't fully defensive. Jordi Alba wasn't fully defensive. Kyle Walker, maybe you'd say was a defensive fullback, but wasn't really like prime Kyle Walker. Wasn't really a defensive fullback, but it is debatable. Joao Cancelo, I don't think we've really had fully defensive fullbacks, but I do understand what you're trying to say, because you look at players like Nuno Mendes, Nico O'Reilly. These fullbacks can literally be midfielders. They can be attacking players in terms of Nuno Mendes can play left wing. Nuno Mendes can probably play attacking mid. He can play center mid. Nico O'Reilly, he was a midfielder before he became a left back, so he can play midfield. Yeah, so I do get what you're trying to say, but I don't think we ever really had traditional defensive fullbacks. But yeah, to answer the question, no, I don't think we'll ever go back to that. I think fullbacks have become very pivotal in building up play now for teams, that it'll be very counterintuitive to have a fully defensive fullback. Cross into the box for Atalanta. Scamacca gets his head on it, but it's not enough. I don't know. It's not Scamacca. It's Jim City. Jimsty? I've always found it difficult to pronounce that guy's name. Is it Jim City or Jimsty? It is Jim City. It is Jim City. Changes for Napoli. Gutierrez, Neres, Noah Lang, all coming off for Politano, Mazzocchi, and Elmas. Omas wasn't starting? I swear Omas was starting. Omas was not starting. Interesting substitutions for Napoli. And hopefully they would be hoping these subs can allow them to hold on to the game because we've got what 20 minutes to go. Atalanta's still looking dangerous. They're intense. They look like they want to get this second goal and make things more interesting, you know? What football team do I support? Real Madrid. Los Blancos of Spain. I am a Real Madrid supporter. I just enjoy Serie matches, and I think Serie has a lot of quality this season, for sure. I think they've got a lot of quality this season, and I've been privy to view some of those quality players. Nico Pass, um, Orsolini at Bologna, Lookman, McTominay, De Bruyne. Lookman, oh, good chance for Atalanta. Cross into the box. I don't know why players are being thrown around. Atalanta players. I don't know why the Atalanta fans are not fans. Atalanta players are pushing the Napoli players, but yeah. FGH with another banger. I mean, FGH. You need to let us know where you're getting these questions from. I would presume probably ChatGPT because the rate at which you're popping these good questions. Bellanova puts a good cross into the box. It's defended well by Napoli. Ooh. Di Lorenzo does very well to keep the ball in. Good defending from Di Lorenzo. Jesus, what is he doing? Okay, it's a goal kick. I thought I was gonna give away a corner. But yeah, FGH with a good question. Should reputation matter when a player is out of form? I don't think so. I mean, it depends the type of reputation we're talking about. That's a tough one. That's a tough one because if you have a player like Mbappe, Mbappe in his first season for Real Madrid was out of form, but he was kept in the starting 11 because of his reputation. So I think could cross into the box from Atalanta, but there's no one there to really attach to it. I don't know what they're doing here. The cross was there. He tried to pass the ball into the box. He should have probably tried to put the cross in. Napoli player is down, and it's Ederson. Haven't really seen much from Ederson today. But yeah, I think it's a tough one because I think reputation matters because, as I said, with Real Madrid, Mbappe in his first season started horribly, but his reputation kept him in the team. So I think reputation does matter when a player is out of form. If the player has a good reputation, you're better off keeping the player in the team and keeping him, allowing him to play until he picks up his form. But it gets to a point. You're better off allowing the player to play in the team based on his reputation, but it gets to a point, a la Alexander Isak at Liverpool. Atalanta wins the ball high up the pitch at Ademola Lookman. Can he find the pass? He's not looking for a pass. He's still on the ball and he misplaces his pass due to pressure. I don't know why the Atalanta players are not looking for a pass. It was Zappacosta at first, and now it's Ademola Lookman. if you just look for a pass, you give your team a better chance of scoring. But hey, I'm not the coach. I'm not the Atalanta coach. Napoli with another change. Rasmus Højlund coming off after getting a good assist for Luka. I think Rasmus Højlund has done well. So yeah, to answer your question, FGH, I think reputation does matter, but to a point. Because if you're someone like Alexander Isak, you can't use the fact that Isak played well last season to keep playing him in Liverpool. You need results at the moment. So it gets to a point with reputation. Reputation can only take you so far. You need to start putting it in form. So to a certain point, I think reputation definitely should be considered when a player is out of form. 15 minutes to go in this game. Atalanta, I would say they've had some good chances. They win the ball high up the pitch here again. That's a foul on Bellanova, I believe, on the for Gabriel Jesus. Lovely flick on from Di Ketelaere, and Bellanova was going through on goal. Jesus had to make that tackle, and it's a yellow card. McTominay's reputation has exploded during his first season at Napoli. His move from Manchester United was good for him. Yeah, definitely. I was saying this earlier in the stream. As a footballer and as a human being in general, you have to be in places where you're appreciated, and players like McTominay, Anthony are not the best players in the world. Obviously I can't look at McTominay and say he's going to play or he's going to fit well in a Barcelona team or he's going to play in or start for Real Madrid. He's not the best player in the world, but in Naples, he's treated as the best player in the world. So he's appreciated in Naples. Same with Anthony. I mean, they literally call Anthony the GOAT in La Liga. Like literally call him the best player in the world, comparing him to Vinicius. And I think he's had a better season than Vinicius. I'm a Real Madrid fan, but I admit that Anthony has had a better season this year than Vinicius. And that, support from the fans, support from the manager, support from everyone, it builds a player's character. And when you're appreciated, you tend to put in more effort in whatever environment you find yourself in. So definitely, yeah, I think McTominay's move to Napoli has given him that boost that he needed in terms of confidence. Because keep in mind, McTominay isn't doing anything different that he did in Manchester United. The same McTominay in Manchester United that was scoring goals for Manchester United and Scotland is the same. He's doing the same thing in Napoli. He's not playing any differently. He's not in a different system. He's playing a different position, but he's not playing in a different system or a different, it's not like the Napoli system is getting the best out of McTominay. That's what I'm trying to say. McTominay is just playing his normal game, but that extra support and motivation from the Naples team and Naples supporters and Naples environment is making him put in more effort, and it's obviously making him a better player. Same thing with Anthony. Same thing with Rasmus Højlund, to be honest. So yeah, for sure. It's a big reputation boost for him, because I mean at the moment you put McTominay in conversations for some of the best players in the world, although I don't think so. Personally, I don't think McTominay is up there with some of the best in the world, but at the moment, it's debatable. Someone can literally have that debate, and it wouldn't be crazy to say. Napoli on the attack here. Good defending from Atalanta. I'm still not seeing anything crazy. From Atalanta in terms of chance creation. The stats. Let's have a look at the stats. The stats at the moment. I've just noticed that the stats don't look that good. I think the stats should be bigger. What do you guys think? I think the stats, I wouldn't mind the stats being bigger, Let me just enlarge this real quick. So I think it's not that visible. Yeah, let me just enlarge this. Let me see. Does this look better? Does this look better? I think it does. Yeah, I think now we can look at the stats a lot better now, because before it was just small on the screen. We can't really see what is going on in terms of the numbers and all of that shenanigans. But I think now it's a tad bit better. But yeah, looking at the stats, Napoli are still, leading in terms of XG, shots on target, but Atalanta have created more chances in this second half. They've created way more chances in the second half. And I think they should have at least been 3-2. The scoreline should have been 3-2 by now, I think, personally. FGH, which underrated player deserves more spotlights? Spotlights. Spotlights. Top of my head, Olise. Olise deserves more praise. I think Olise has been spectacular. I had this conversation with someone saying, basically, I was debating that Olise is a better player than Lamine Yamal at the moment, and they were like, "There is no way Olise is a better player than Lamine Yamal." I was like, "Look at the numbers. I know Lamine Yamal has cooked at Barcelona, but I think at the moment Olise would be doing better in Barcelona than Lamine Yamal is doing at the moment." I'm not saying, it's a landslide that Olise is better than Lamine Yamal, but I think if Olise was in Barcelona on the right wing, I think he'd have more impact than Lamine Yamal is having. Ademola Lookman, straight out of goalkeeper. I think so. And the reaction I got from the person I was having this conversation with, it was so crazy. It was like I was comparing Lamine Yamal to maybe Harvey Barnes or Anthony Gordon. So I think, yeah, Olise is one of those players where they're very underrated. Odilon Kusunu was making a good run, but couldn't keep the run going. Vasilic, Kamaka, back heel. Ooh. Dispossessed. Had another look, man. It's a foul for Napoli. 10 minutes to go. It looks like it's going to be 3 points for Napoli. Very well needed 3 points, because that match against Bologna, which we did have a live stream on, a live watch-along on, was not good. Was not good. This is a lot better. Maldini is coming on for Atalanta. I think that Maldini's son? I would think so. Lovely back heel from Scamacca. I think Scamacca has come on and has been Atalanta's man of the match in this second half, for sure. For sure, he has come on and being that for Atalanta. I think that is Maldini's son coming on for Atalanta. Wasn't he former AC Milan player? I hope I'm not getting my facts wrong. Eight minutes to go of normal time. What a ball. Too much. Is he gonna get there? He's not. It was a good attempt to pass from, I think, Gutierrez. Atalanta player just pushed Di Lorenzo out of the way. It's looking like it's going to be a loss for Atalanta. They are staring down the barrel of defeat here. They really are staring down the barrel of defeat here. Luca, good hold up play for Napoli. Clearance from Atalanta. Ooh, good defending. Good defending from the Napoli defender. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I always pronounce it Bukimia, but I know it's probably not Bukimia. I had to make the interception. If not, Skamaka was still on go. Do you trust stats like XG more than the eye test? I don't. I don't. I think stats tell how they tell a story. I think stats can tell a story, but you can't judge a player based on stats. Stats tell a story of how a player is performing on the pitch, but if you actually want to see if a player is good, you have to watch the players. That's why I actually, sit down and watch the players I do the ones to watch episodes for. I actually take my time to watch a couple of matches and highlights of the players that I do wants to watch for, and then I have a look at their stats. So although I do compare these players in the videos to like using their stats, I do watch them, with the eye test, because I think if I don't watch them with the eye test, I can't tell if they're going to be a good player or not. So eye test, very very important. And there's some stuff that doesn't show up on stat sheets. You know, decision making doesn't show up on the stat sheets. Uh, Off ball movement doesn't show up on the stat sheet. So there's a lot of important stuff that players do that don't show up on the stat sheet. So the eye test, very important. That's why I don't talk about players that I have no idea of. If I haven't watched a player play, I can't judge a player. I can't be like, oh, on the stats it says he's got what 4.0 xg in per 90. When you watch him play, he's shooting the ball straight at the goalkeeper. Like Voltameda today against Manchester City probably had a high xg number, but all his shots were straight at Donnarumma. So yeah, eye tests, very 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 important. Napoli just killing time a little bit here. I don't think Atalanta have what it takes to really take this game. Make this game interesting. Cross into the box, Skamaka. Cross the face of goal. He's very good on getting on the end of crosses, Skamaka. He knows how to position himself very well to get on the end of crosses. He gets on the end of a very good cross here. And he got on the end of a very good cross to get that first goal. 3 minutes of normal time to go. Nothing to cause any issues for Napoli by Atalanta. Ederson is always, speaking of stats, every time I watch Atalanta play, McTominay, looked for the pass, couldn't get it. Every time I watch Atalanta play, which hasn't been much this season, but the times I've watched Atalanta play, Ederson is always leading the stats for distance covered. I don't know if that's that's a thing, but Ederson is always leading the stats when it comes to distance covered on the field. But he's never on the score sheets or on the assist sheets. But he's always there when it comes to distance coverage. Corner for Napoli here. Does La Liga still produce the smartest midfielders? Let me see. some of the smartest midfielders in the world at the moment. I would say Pedri. I would say Bellingham. I think Arda Güler would be there. Um, Real Madrid and Barcelona players. To be very honest with you, smartest midfielders. I mean, let me know. Let me know if you're watching live, which really good midfielders are in La Liga. Because if I go to the Premier League, I can mention a few: Declan Rice, Caicedo, Eze, Enzo Fernandez, Nico Gonzalez, Anderson, Wharton. I don't think I don't think I don't think La Liga has a huge quality of quote unquote smart midfielders, because the players I mentioned for La Liga are basically just Real Madrid and Barcelona players. Pedri, Güler, Bellingham, Frankie De Jong. But you said produce, and Frankie De Jong is an old player. Bellingham didn't really come from La Liga. But if you look at the Premier League, Anderson, he's a Premier League product from Newcastle. Wharton is a Premier League product. Declan Rice is a Premier League product. Caicedo was bought, but he was developed in the Premier League, from Brighton. So he was produced in the Premier League, basically. So that's three. Wharton, Anderson, Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, maybe. I don't know. It would depend on your definition of produced. If you mean produce and you add, you know, player acquisition in terms of transfers and all of that. 5 minutes of added time, by the way. We're in the 90th minutes. We have 5 minutes of added time. If you're talking about producing players and you're including transfers coming through the academy and stuff like that, then I think the Premier League is producing a lot more smarter midfielders as compared to La Liga, because La Liga, it's only Real Madrid and Barcelona, I think, they've got those midfielders that can really compete. I think this game is over, to be very honest. This game is over for Atalanta. They had their opportunity to make it 3-2, and this 5 minutes of extra added time probably would have made more sense if this was 3-2. Well, coming in for Atalanta, straight to the Napoli goalkeeper. Straight to the Napoli goalkeeper. If you have enjoyed the watch along as we edge closer to the end here, oh, this could be four. Oh, come on. An opportunity for Napoli. Luca. It was a ball straight from Milinkovic Savic. Took a touch. And Odilon Kasunu was there to prevent it from going in. What is your favorite Italian footballer of all time? Ooh, to be honest, I don't think I have a favorite Italian footballer, because growing up, I never really watched Serie A. So the times I watched Serie A was when Juventus was dominating. I mean, Juventus were dominating for a long time, so that's kind of irrelevant. But I think, yeah, again, I didn't watch Serie A growing up. I was watching Premier League and La Liga. I never watched Bundesliga growing up. I'm going to be honest with you. Premier League and La Liga were the two leagues I really watched. But the few times I got to watch Italian teams, I got to see players like Mandzukic. I watched players like Prime Paulo Dybala. Um, is it Diego Costa? Not Diego Costa. Douglas Costa. Juventus. Inter Milan. Who do they really have in Inter Milan? Most of the players I watched were in Juventus, to be honest. Probably in Juventus. So if I had to mention my all-time favorite Serie A player, it would probably or Italian football. Okay, I think I'm mistaking your question now. What is your favorite Italian footballer of all time? Okay, okay, not Serie A player, Italian footballer. Italian footballer. Hmm. Now that's a question. Italian footballers. I'm trying to think. Perlo? Did I watch Perlo? I don't think I watched Perlo. If I had watched Perlo, it'd probably be in his latter years. I didn't watch Perlo in his prime at all. Um, I was alive, but I didn't watch it because I wasn't, watching Serie A, and I obviously didn't have interest in Italian football. So I don't think I would have a favorite Italian player or a favorite Italian footballer of all time. Probably Mario Balotelli. If I had to pick based on the players I've actually watched, Mario Balotelli for me. But that's based on the players I've watched. If I had watched more Italian football and seen more Italian teams, I probably would have a better option. Obviously, Balotelli is not the best Italian football, but he is my favorite based on the ones I have watched. The game has come to an end. Big win for Napoli. Massive win for Napoli. And if you are Atalanta, you look at this and you're disappointed. You look at this and you're very disappointed. And I think there's a lot more to build for Atalanta. First, game in charge for the new manager, but there were some positives. It wasn't fully negative for Atalanta. There were some positives going in, but Napoli are going to be the happiest of the two teams. They're going to be taking 3 points from this, moving into the next game. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Tomorrow is the Inter Milan versus AC Milan match, the Milan derby, our first Milan derby of the stream, and I think it's going to be a wonderful game. I think the matches, the goals we've seen today, is a sign of good things to come. I predicted earlier 5 goals in the first half in the Milan derby. Tune in. Make sure to tune in. So if you're new to the channel and you want to tune into that and you enjoyed this and you want to enjoy tomorrow's on, tune in, definitely. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Stay safe out there.